welcome to another edition of Is It a Dupe or Just a Waste of Money? I know, you guys are probably like, what? I thought you were gonna stop doing that. Nah, I'm back. I heard y'all loud and clear. I saw your comments. Y'all said, no, we miss them, we want them. Please bring them back, compare, show. Here your girl is. I actually, some days I actually listen. I don't know, but I did. Shout out to my girl Martha over at The Good Candle. Hopefully by the time I get this video up, her fall collection is still available. It is ending very soon. Code HOTMESS will save you 15%. Thank you if you choose to pick up some of her collection. I definitely appreciate it because I truly believe in supporting small business owners and especially amazing good people with great quality items. So check out Martha over there. And today we are putting the Ccolor Cosmetics Autumn Palette up against the Patrick Ta, what is this actually called? The Major Dimension Eyeshadow Palette. Alright, so this is actually the first time I've ever tried Patrick Ta's formula out. And I'm gonna give the disclaimer later in the video. We're not duping formulas, yada yada yada. We're just duping the look. Can we create similar looks or the same look? I mean, it is on my eyes today. Can y'all guess? Y'all know. If you're new here, you're not going to know. But if you've been here for a while, specifically since 2017 when I started this series on my channel, go ahead and pause the video. Take a wild guess. Don't judge if you still see my lash glue. I just got my lashes on. But take a wild guess. Which side is $68? What side is $10.80 with code HOTMESS10? Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there. Mom's got to pay her bills, so there's that. But what do y'all think? And of course, at the end of today's video, once you figure out what side is which, you come back, let your girl know. Were you right? Were you wrong? Could you tell a difference? Let me know. So these are always fun videos to do, and I'll be honest, I did kind of miss it. It was fun to create. I've got the swatches for you all. We're gonna go ahead and side by side these palettes. If you follow me over on Instagram, you would have seen all of that already, but you're not gonna be able to see it until today's video up against each other. So let me know, do you guys think? Is it a dupe? Just waste some money? Welcome to the judgment-free, drama-free, stress-free zone. My name's Rhonda, and we keep it cute or put it on mute over here. Okay, so we have fun, we play makeup, we unbox makeup, we do the things, but we don't forget this girl's a Gemini with ADHD that takes 15 left-hand turns. You chose to click on the channel with the first word, hot mess. That's all I gotta say about that. Let's go ahead and find out whether or not this is a dupe or just a waste of money. All right, so let's go ahead and compare the palettes. Packaging off the bat, huge difference. This is of course in like a nice little shiny type of container component, whatever you want to call it. Now the biggest difference you are going to see between these palettes is the Patrick Ta palette has the two cream shades up here. Now instead of Ccolor Cosmetics offering that, they just went ahead and gave you those shades in powder form, which to me is totally fine. I don't know personally, I guess I would probably just end up using this more as like a primer base. Now speaking of primer, I did go ahead and put my Dry Cosmetics primer on right now, so that way that's my favorite eyeshadow primer, and I feel like it definitely always gives brands a fair shot. So as far as comparison, so I am gonna go ahead and I'll be like inserting swatches and everything for you all, but I just want to do a quick little side-by-side comparison on how they look. You can see right off the bat, as well as with the swatches, that there is not much of a difference as far as the swatches go. Now as we know, swatches don't tell the full story, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you all in, and we're going to go ahead and create, of course, one side will be Ccolor Cosmetics, the other side will be Patrick Ta, and this is actually going to be the first for me to be using Patrick Ta's formula. I can tell you right off the bat, when it comes to is it a dupe or just a waste of money, we are not comparing the formulas. That is one thing that I really want to reiterate when it comes to these videos. We're not trying to dupe the formula, y'all. We are trying to dupe the look. These are inspired by palettes, and we're like, I can't say it enough, we're not duping the formula. The other thing I want to give a disclaimer on is, look, If you want the Patrick Ta, you're gonna buy the Patrick Ta $68 palette. Okay, so if you're not down for dupes or inspired by palettes, I don't know why you even clicked on this video, honestly. But if you want an inspired by palette, you want to pay under $12, it's gonna be like $10.80 with code HOTMESS10, then get the palette. But like I said, this is not going to take business away from whatever brand they are duping. That's the other thing. So I wanted to just address that right there. So let me go ahead, zoom you all in, and let's go ahead and get into the look. All right, so I do have a wash rag down here that I will be cleaning my brushes. If I need my spray, I've got spray as well. Now, the whole point behind Is It a Dupe or Just a Waste of Money is because I told you all when I started this series on my channel in 2017, it was because of back when I was a single mom, I could not ever even consider thinking about purchasing a high-end $68 palette, and how I had wished that there were brands like Ccolor Cosmetics or Alter Ego. Bad Habit used to be around, Shop Push used to be around, Makeup Revolution is still around, and you know, in all honesty, ColourPop even, you know, has some inspired by palettes, I feel like. So I feel like when there is inspired by palettes out there, it kind of makes you forget, in my opinion, that you can't afford the high end, you know, because you're still creating that look. So this series started for the moms that moms like me back in the day that couldn't afford these kind of things after my divorce. So these videos, this whole series is for y'all. We're gonna start off with the Ccolor Cosmetics palette. I'm gonna just go into the shade Crisp, and the side, well, you can't see my candle. I've got my pumpkin spice candle burning from the Good Candle. That's going to be the Ccolor Cosmetics side. I am a queen of heavy hand. It's really bad. My biggest tip for y'all is build up nice and slowly. I'm just going to go in on a tacky base, and because if you're new here, you're going to notice I do more of a tap tap dab dab type of motion because I do have mature hooded, slightly hooded lids, and I found like for me, looking down and then just building up by doing a little tap tap dab dab motion has really helped. You guys can see, like, if I were to go right into a windshield wiper motion, you see how I have like the creasing, which will end up causing skipping. So I really go ahead and build the shade up by doing the tap tap dab dab. I'm gonna extend out just a little bit. Now as I build it up, I start to kind of drag my brush around, but I noticed even if I set my lids, set the primer, I was still running into that skipping issue. So that is why I tap tap dab dab. So as you can see, this builds up very nicely. So once I've got on there very lightly, I'm gonna kind of drag it back and forth. Cleaning my brush and jumping into the Patrick Ta side. This formula is so buttery. It is so nice and buttery. It's so nice and smooth. So what I do is once I've added it, you see how I'm kind of sticking in one spot for a bit and then dragging it real softly. I find that since I'm so heavy-handed, if I hold my brush down towards the bottom, I have less issues. Alright, so there's just the first shades put down, and you can see there's just a little bit of a difference for the transition. I do feel like right off the top, right off the bat, that the Patrick Ta side is a little bit on the cooler side, where the Ccolor side is a little bit more on the warmer side. And I will say, because again, we're not trying to dupe the formula, the Patrick Ta is a bit more on the smoother side than the Ccolor Cosmetics. So it's a little bit of a difference. I don't think it's that big of a deal because at the end of the day, we're just trying to recreate a similar cohesive look. Alright, so next I'm going to jump into the shade Kernel over here in my Ccolor Cosmetics side. I am going to switch my brush. I'm going to go in with my blinged brush. This is the E2 brush. These brushes are amazing. And I'm just going to take it and kind of come down a little bit more with it, just to kind of fake a little bit more of a deep set in my eyes than what I actually have, especially since I have a hooded lid. So when I go around the bone, the orbital bone, and kind of press that in, You see how it kind of makes it look a little bit deeper than this side. You can go a little above the bone too, especially if you are more hooded. I'm going to take that and bring it down and connect it underneath as well. So that's actually a really pretty color. Alright, cleaning off my brush, jumping over to the Patrick Ta side. We're going to go in with this shade. Now his do not have names in here. They're actually on the other side. I don't go by those on the bio because I'm always worried that it's not going to be in the right order that I'm saying it, if it makes sense. Sticking with my bling brush, gonna tap and do the exact same thing. And same thing, the Patrick Ta side is just a little bit cooler than the Ccolor Cosmetics side. But I don't think it's going to be something that you're going to notice like right off the bat unless I start telling you, hey, can you tell the difference, you know? As far as, again, the formula goes, nice and smooth and creamy, where this is a little bit almost, I don't want to say drier, but if I had to compare, that is the biggest comparison. I know I should wait till the end, but let's be honest, I'll probably forget. So, jumping back over to the Ccolor Cosmetics side, I think I'm going to go in with the shade Generous and mix it with a little bit Earth and Generous together, which I'll do with the Patrick Ta side. So I'm going to mix those and put it in the outer V. I am going to switch my brush again. You don't have to. That's just what I like to do. This is the BK Beauty 205. As you can see, it's kind of a slanted angle and it's a little bit smaller, so I can kind of get into that crease area. So I'm going to mix those two shades, tap it, and stamp it. Stamping it right into the outer V and also connecting it underneath. Dragging it just a little bit, whatever's left on the brush, over to the inner corner. And then I'm going to jump back into the shade Kernel. And this is kind of how I blend things. Tap it a little and then go over just slightly to kind of soften the line of demarcation. And whatever is extra, put underneath the eye to help conceal some of those fine lines. Jump over to Patrick Ta, and we're going to mix these two shades together and stamp it in the outer V. Jumping in more to the clay color, like the warmer color, honestly, to try and kind of match up the Ccolor Cosmetics side a little bit more, because there is more warmth on the Ccolor side. Alright, jumping into the lighter shade right here and helping with that line of demarcation. Patrick's is very, very pigmented, so I'm going to just go back into using my Sonia G Blender Pro and kind of trying to soften this up a little bit. And because I feel like there's definitely a noticeable difference over here, I am going to jump in. And this does not bother me to have to kind of match up the sides, okay? Keep in mind, this is a $10.80 palette. This is a $68 palette. This better be like, you know, moving mountains for $68. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of Orchard and Earth, or maybe even actually Generous and Orchid together. I'm going to mix those two shades together to try and get more of this cooler tone. And see how we already started to bring it right back over to the Patrick Ta kind of undertone. So don't be afraid to mix colors to create what you need to create. Even if I'm going to jump in to the shade Pie up here, you know, that's what they're there for, you know, so use them, mix them, and, you know, that's the fun part about makeup, you know, it washes off, it's not that serious. Now to soften it up, I'm going to go back into Kernel, and I just tap right over here, and there you go. One side's probably higher than the other, but hey, your girl's not perfect. I'm actually going to dip into the shade Web, and I'm going to put that up by my brow. It does have a little bit of shimmer in there, but I'm going to tap the brush real well, and then I'm going to just put it up here. Yeah, that did exactly what I wanted. It kind of calmed it down. I'm going to use that shade in the inner corners. So, and then jumping over to the Patrick Ta and using that shade. It's almost like a, I don't know what you'd call it, like a sequin color maybe, because it has a little bit of shimmer in there, but nothing like over the top. I'm going to go in with Solstice on the Ccolor side, just using my finger and then tapping it right on. I love Ccolor Cosmetics shimmers. I always tell y'all, I feel like that's where they really excel. I am taking it like 3/4 of the way out, not all the way out to the end, but a pretty decent amount. And then I'm going to go into the shade Cider for the outer portion, again using my finger, picking up a little bit and putting it right out here. Again, not all the way out where it's going to accentuate, but kind of overlapping just a smidge of the other shimmer shade. And then I'm going to go into the shade Cozy and plop that right into the center. Now if you want to clean up just a little bit, whatever's left on my application brush of my primer, I'm just going to clean up the line just a little bit with my Gerard Cosmetics primer and then tap it with my beauty sponge. And that way you have more of a sharp line. Alright, let me go ahead and do the other side with Patrick Ta's colors. So jumping first, I'll show y'all. Jumping first into this shade, then this shade, and then of course this one. Honestly though, I feel like you see a little bit more texture. I'll zoom in just with that shade, just a little bit. I mean, it's shimmer, so I don't really know what I'm expecting, but I'm gonna go in with the other and then in the center. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna jump off, I'm gonna put my lashes on, liner, the whole 9 yards, and then we'll be back to talk about everything. I'm gonna go ahead, zoom in so you all can see the finished look. Now, of course, as I had told you all, I definitely feel like there was a huge formula difference, which in all honesty is to be expected. Like I was telling you all, for $68, I'm gonna want it to move mountains. You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel luxurious. I want to feel the quality. And you definitely feel the quality when it comes to the Patrick Ta shadows. They are absolutely beautiful. That was my first time ever playing around with his shadows, and y'all, I definitely really enjoyed the formula. This is definitely a wonderful palette. When it comes to the Ccolor Cosmetics palette, $10.80, you can't beat it. And like I was telling you all earlier, if $68, one, isn't in your budget, or two, you're just like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay that, go with this. I mean, as you all can see, we were able to create darn near a spot-on dupe with the Ccolor Cosmetics Autumn palette. There's a couple different things about this palette. Obviously, you're not going to be getting the cream formula like you do in the Patrick Ta. Some of the shades, the undertones just a little different, a little bit warmer, which is to be expected. We see that a lot with a lot of Ccolor Cosmetics formulas or shadows, the shades and everything, but we were able to mix and blend together to be able to create a cohesive look where it does not look like I have two different eyeshadow palettes on my lids, which I absolutely love. I mean, for $10.80, you just honestly, you can't beat it. So when it comes to Ccolor Cosmetics longevity, it is definitely there. If you've played with Ccolor Cosmetics formula, you know that. I will try and remember to take an end of the day kind of clip. So anyways, at the end of the day, yes, I definitely think this is a great palette. I think it's going to give you the looks that you're wanting without spending the big, huge $68. So if you guys are curious about everything that is on my face, for my base makeup and my bronzer as well as my contour, it is all my cream Saint makeup. If you want a free color match, there will be a link down below for you all. As far as my lashes are from AOA Studio, but underneath them, I did use the Blink Black Primer. You you all know how much I absolutely love this primer from Blink. I'm telling you, your mascara is never going to budge. It stays on. It's amazing. I did use the Blink Amplified Tubing Mascara. I love this because, in all honesty, not only does it give you that length, that volume, but it's so easy to remove. You're not tugging. And as I'm getting older, my under eyes are starting to show, and so the last thing I want to be doing is fussing with my lashes. So this Blink combo, definitely recommend. And then I did use the Blink Eyebrow Mousse in the shade Taupe. And here's a little tip for y'all. If you're like me, you have thyroid issues, so your brows and you're recovering still from the 90s, you want a really good mousse that has color in it, because you can do your brows backwards, like literally brush them backwards with this mousse, and it'll like give the appearance of fuller, which I do appreciate. For liner, I used the Ccolor Cosmetics waterproof eyeliner in black on my tight line. On my waterline, I did the Araceli chocolate down on my waterline. My lashes are from Shop Miss AOA Studio in Alexis. It's like a pack of 5 or 6. They're amazing. On my lips, I have my Gerard Cosmetics lip liners. I mixed Ecstasy and Nude together, and then I topped it with my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Rose. So that is everything that is on my face today, and my jewelry is from Bar, and I absolutely love this. I've been washing my hands using hand sanitizer, everything, nothing is fading. You guys would have seen this probably in a couple other videos, but I love to kind of dress things up a little. Anyways, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta film the intro to this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you are interested in picking up the Ccolor Cosmetics Autumn Palette, which I would definitely recommend, for $10.80, make sure to use code HOTMESS10 to save yourself that 10%. You can actually use that repeatedly, that coupon code, over and over and over again. And definitely check out their site. They have a ton of stuff that I love, and if you're curious about it, I've probably done a video on it. Matter of fact, I'll have videos playing at the end of today's video. One will be my playlist starting from 2017 to today, showing you all the different dupes that are out there, the formulations, looks, everything. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end of today's video, I definitely appreciate it. Huge shout out and thank you to my YouTube members. You don't have to help support this channel, but you choose to, and I appreciate you all. And check me out on my other channel, Hotmess Momma Vlogs, for plus size curvy girl fashion hauls over there. I'm on TikTok and Instagram at hotmessmomma4. And until next time, kisses from Kentucky. Mwah! Bye, friends. Oh, my fingernails, these are from Impress Nails. I think they're like $8.99. They're so freaking cute, and they were so easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right, I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye, friends.